Good evening. It is my great pleasure and privilege to welcome you all once again to the National Lecture Series on Indian Intellectual Traditions, organized by Kandalu Shala, an institute totally dedicated for higher learning and research in ancient Indian wisdom. Today, we have with us an eminent scholar of international repute, Professor Shivani, who is the Dean and Director of Karnataka Sanskrit University, Bengaluru, to deliver yet another very interesting topic, digital devices in Sanskrit studies. The Director-in-Chief of Kandalu Shala, Professor Murli Madhavan, will be presiding over this session. Let me now invite the Master of Ceremonies of today's session, Dr. Shivaja, who is the Assistant Professor of Sri Shankara University of Sanskrit, Kaladi. Over to Dr. Shivaja.
Namaste, sir. Today, this is the 18th lecture of Kandalu Shala, an institute for higher learning and research in ancient wisdom. And this is a lecture series of national lecture series on Indian intellectual tradition. Today's topic is digital devices in Sanskrit studies. Which would be preceded by Dr. Shivani.V. For the invocation, I invite Dr. Sarita Maheshwaran.
Sada balarupabi vignadrihantri mahadantivatrabi panchastyamanya vidhindradimrigya ganeshabhidhame विधत्तां श्रियं काविकल्याणमूर्ति अङ्गं हरे पुलगभूषणमाश्रयन्ती भृङ्गाङ्गनेव मुकुलाभरणं तमालम् अङ्गीकृताखिल विभूतिरपाङ्गलीला मङ्गल्यदास्तु मम मङ्गलदेवताया मुग्धा मुहुर्विदधति वदने मुरारे प्रेमत्रपा प्रणिहितानि गतागतानि मालादृशोर्मधुकरीव महोत्पलेया सा मे श्रियं दिशतु सागरसम्भवाय शिवशक्त्या युक्तो यदि भवति शक्तः प्रभवितुं न चेदेवं देवो न खलु कुशलस्पन्दितुमपि अतस्त्वामाराध्यां हरिहरविरिञ्जादिभिरपि प्रणन्दुं स्तोतुं वा कथमकृतपुण्यः प्रभवति
Thank you, Dr. Sarita Maheshwaran, for her beautiful invocation. Now, this is the time for welcome address. Today's topic, digital devices in Sanskrit studies, is a very interesting topic for the present time. We are hearing almost from last 4 decades, Sanskrit computer and Sanskrit and computer. Sanskrit is suitable for computers, like that terms, codes, etc. Uh, uh, from alone. So we know something and we don't know much about it. It is like that. So there are so many researches are happened in the field, and there are very special researches are happening now in the field, latest as latest. So uh, so many institutions are part of it, like University of Hyderabad, IITs, Karnataka Sanskrit University, National Sanskrit University, CDACs, CDIT, etc. Kind of institutions, and almost and also there are so many private institutions are also part of it, part of the research. So and also according to NEP, the focus of research is on multidisciplinary research nowadays. And um, also NEP is focusing on, NEP is more concentrating on IKS, Indian knowledge systems. So computational linguistics or Sanskrit and computer, or Sanskrit computational linguistics, or natural language processing, all these terms are concentrating its research on Indian knowledge system and in interdisciplinary way. So actually this topic, digital devices in Sanskrit studies, is very much uh, uh, relevant at this juncture. So uh, Professor Shivani.V is Dean, Faculty of Shastra, Karnataka Sanskrit University, and she is holding so many positions in Karnataka Sanskrit University, like she is Director of Prasaranga, and she is head of the department, Department of Vyakarana. Also, she is IQAC director there, and before that, she holded. She was the assistant director, Chinmaya Shodh Sansthan. Um, and there she could able to do such works, such natural language processing works, related projects and all. And now also she is having a team um, titled Sambhasha. The team is focused to develop Sanskrit tools for beginners and advanced learners. They are developing so many tools and all. There, uh, so many researches are going on nowadays. Uh, and also, she is part of a project by Ministry of Science and Technology. So the for the today's lecture, I think she is a very apt person, and I welcome Dr. Shivani for the uh, present lecture. And also, I welcome the presidential address, Dr. Murali Madhavan, uh, uh, and also uh, Dr. Vanaja. She's assistant professor, Vimana College, Trishur. She presents the citation of Shivani.V and conclude the remarks and vote of thanks by Dr. Annapurna SV. She's a assistant professor of Sanskrit in University College Trivandrum. I welcome Dr. Annapurna also for today's lecture. And also I welcome one and all who all are present here, special invitees and the the scholars for the present lecture, uh, from my end and Kandalu Shala's end. So, for the President address, I welcome Professor Murli Madhavan, sir. Sir.
Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram. Dear Dr. Shivani, the chief guest of the day, Dr. Vanaja, Dr. Shivaja, Dr. Annapurna, Dr. S.V. Aryambika, and our beloved President of Kandarur Sabha, Sri K.N. Poti, our main advisor in technology and the trustee of the Sabha and the financial manager, Dr. Pradeep Jyoti, other dignitaries and Sanskrit students and lovers witnessing the program on Kandarur Zoom platform. I salute all of you and cordially invite you to the present lecture. It is very interesting to, and I feel I am immensely pleased that Dr. Shivani has accepted to deliver a lecture on this topic, digital devices on Sanskrit in Sanskrit studies. She accepted some 2 or 3 months back, but due to some problems with us and several problems those are faced by Dr. Shivani, we could not organize this in the last 2 months. So the time has come now. So I am very happy that Dr. Shivani, a very promising young scholar in the field of Sanskrit, especially in the field of grammar and also in computational linguistics, in natural language processing. She is known to me several decades before, and she was. I am proud and I am happy that I was instrumental to select her as the assistant director of Chinmaya International Foundation Shodh Sansthan, where she worked wonderfully. She proved her brilliance in her activities, academic activities. She led several projects there, and from there she was again. It is my privilege that I was one of the members of the selecting committee to select her as the assistant professor in Karnataka Sanskrit University. So I know her very well and her capacities as a young scholar. I welcome her to Kandarur Shala for this lecture. I think Dr. Shivaja, in her introduction, she is also coming from the same field, but she is more concentrated on Shabdabodha because she has done her PG in Shabdabodha. And she is also a young, promising young scholar. And recently she has been selected to our Khaledi University in the Department of Sanskrit General. And we are happy that such young scholars are real scholars. They are with us in our Kandarur Shala also to lead our academic activities ahead. Actually, we look at the ancient Indian methods of teaching or learning to understand the advantages that they have over the Western methods, which failed to develop the Western methods, which failed to develop necessary proficiency among students. The ancient methods and the same time demanded good hold over the Panini's grammar. That is very important, which the modern students lack. So, with the availability of, so to say, various computational platforms for analyzing Sanskrit texts, we should discuss how we can revive the ancient methods of teaching or learning Sanskrit. We are not simply changing to the modern scenario, modern methodology. We are actually here to revive our vital methods of Sanskrit learning, teaching and learning. And during ancient times, our, so to say, each Indian discipline had its own, what we call, so to say, distinct style of interpretation of Sanskrit texts, and employed various methods, critically as well as scientific, for teaching these texts, so-called, mentioned my earlierly mentioned texts. However, with the advent of British rule, Western methods were introduced in schools, and gradually the Indian methods were, what to say, forgotten. Actually, but the Western methods were found to be insufficient for teaching Sanskrit. That is to be underlined. Is actually in what we call the study of original Sanskrit works reveals to us illuminating ideas on methods of teaching. Even in text, when you go through, whether it's Nyaya text or Vyakarana text or Mimamsa text, you can see a methodology. Two traditional methods, Dandanvaya and Ghandanvaya, were employed for effective teaching of Sanskrit. That is. So, Dandanvaya, as you know very well, also known as Anvaya Mukhi. It is through Anvaya it happens. And where all the words are arranged in a prose order, according to their grammatical function and syntactical relations, for easy understanding of a verse. This is a very big verse. It will be very difficult to follow the meaning, to understand at a stretch. So they will put everything in an Anvaya fashion. Then we will go through that. So the default, the word order, Anvaya, or the canonical form is governed roughly by as a verse I will quote here. I want to quote. I think this verse speaks of that. Visheshanam puraskritya visheshyam tadalakshanam. Kartra karma kriya yuktam edad anvaya lakshanam. So it means starting with the adjectives, targeting the head word in the order of kartra karma kriya, that is subject, object and verb, gives an anvaya, that is natural order of words in a sentence. So through the anvaya, a student could be able to determine the desired, or what is abhishta, abhihita, the meaning. So this Ghandanvaya method, also known as a dialogue or dialogic method, or method of questions and answers. It is in that form. And it resembles Dandanvaya in the first picking out of the principal sentence, but differs from it afterwards. It regarding the construing of remaining words of the whole sentence, which is carried on in sections and as Ghandas, that is a Ghandanvaya, by framing questions on individual words or even phrases. So in other words, it can be said like this. The basic skeleton of a sentence is given and other details are filled in by asking questions. This is, you can see in Shankara Bhashya and all other places. Thus, it is also called as Kadambhudini. That is, due to the use of Sanskrit question, what we use the words such as Kadambhuda, Kim, Kada, Kimartham. So that is Kadambhudini. So the expression is like that. These questions are centered on the heads seeking their various modifiers. So these are some factors of this understanding the meaning and method of what we call understanding the language. With the outset of the, or so to say, with the onset of the British rule in India, gradually Western methods were of teaching and learning were introduced in the schools for teaching not only the modern sciences. They introduced their own. They have introduced their own what we call methods, and that English people and the languages, even classical languages like Sanskrit, were being taught in the modern lines. The grammar translation method, which was popular in Europe, that is the method of the popular method in Europe, grammar translation method, and the grammar translation method which was popular in Europe was for teaching classical languages, such as it is used for their classical languages, that is Latin and Greek and like that. And that same method was adopted in throughout India for teaching or learning Sanskrit also by British people. And in grammar translation method, the sentence constructions corresponding to different grammar rules are taught, and the students are also taught to translate them into their mother tongue. So in the both methods, it is essential to have what we call prior knowledge of minimum in all the methods. You require some basics of the grammar of the language. That is the prior knowledge of minimum set of grammar rules of Sandhi, Samasa, and Karaka. So along with the theories of verbal cognition also, Shabdabodha, like Aganksha, Yogyata, Sannidhi, etc. The essential factors of that help Shabdabodha, such as mutual expectancy, that is called Aganksha, the consistency, that is called Yogyata, and the proximity, that is called Prahare Ucharidani, Padani, Napramanam, and ityadi Uttamartade, Samskriti, Nyaya Shastra. That is called Sannidhi. And apart from these three, the last one, the fourth one is purpose. The very purpose, the what we call the Tatparya, also play an important role in the process of verbal, what we say, cognition, verbal cognition. Here, the traditional method of teaching required minimum 8 or 10 or even 12 years of dedicated study, which seems impractical in the present scenario, in the present moving scenario, fast moving scenario. Additionally, teaching or learning of Sanskrit, unlike other modern languages, requires lots of memorization in the form of word formations and various grammatical rules involving lexical, syntactic, and semantic information. The students of this generation shy away from this kind of memorization. They feel shy in memorizing such things. and they are technically, this young generation is technically what we call oriented, and frequently they use the internet or web for socializing, for working, as well as learning. In recent years, there has been rapid, what I want to say is, in the recent years, there is a rapid advancement of several computational tools for Sanskrit. It is possible to use these, what we call, these tools for the better understanding of Sanskrit language with a small span of time. The Anusaraka, I think Dr. Shivani will be explaining very authentically on that. I am a layman in that field. I have not worked in depth in those fields. My general information I am talking about the Anusaraka project, a language accessory, helps in overcoming the language barriers by sharing the load of what we say the language learning, the great load of the language learning between man and machine. Tasks which are actually difficult for a human being are being handled by machine, and the human being takes the load of the tasks that are difficult for what we call the machines. This is the system. This is the general bhumika, what I want to say about the Sanskrit studies, and what in the to put in a nutshell, I want to say that we are not here to discard grammar rules. We are not here to avoid all the scientific restrictions of Sanskrit language. We absorb all those things. Whether it is Shabdabodha, you know, Shabdabodha is a very tough subject. But we take that methodology and we use in the computer and we use for Sanskrit learning. And in other systems, when you speak about Shabdabodha, there are 3 different darshanas come to the scene. One is Mimamsa, another one is Vyakarana, and the other one is Nyaya Shastra. So Pada, Vakya, Pramana. These 3 Shastras. So with this, some small observation, I beg to remain. We are eager to hear Dr. Shivani regarding some new informations in the field of study as far as computational linguistics, the digital devices we are using in Sanskrit, and how to what extent it has progressed at a global level. And with these observations, I beg to remain. I thank one and all for your patient hearing. Now, I wish to conclude my presidential address in this phase. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presidential address. Now, I welcome Professor Shivani.V for your presentation and lecture.
तया विना जगत् सर्वं मूकमुन्मत्तवत् सदा वाघधिष्ठातृदेवी स्यां तस्यै वाण्यै नमो नमः। अत्र उपस्थिताः कान्तर्लूर् शालायाः अध्यक्षाः मुरलीमाधवन् महोदयाः and President Sri K.M. Dr. Shivaja, Dr. Annapurna, Dr. Vanaja, Dr. Arya, and Dr. Pradeep, and all other authorities of Kandarlu Shala at the outset, and all one and all present here. At the outset, I congratulate first itself. I congratulate the Kandalur Shala, an institute of higher learning and research in ancient Indian wisdom, for spreading our Indic wisdom to the world, and taking a lot of effort and pain for finding out the scholars, and every month one or two lectures they are organizing related to Indian knowledge system. So I congratulate, and also I thank Professor Murali Madhavan sir and others for inviting me to share a few of our works, and also the recent developments happening in the field of Sanskrit computational linguistics and artificial intelligence. I can share the PPT, right?
Yes.
So the topic given to me is digital devices in Sanskrit studies. Actually, see, I myself have presented many times. The tools were developed by us and Hyderabad University and others. So I think almost all are aware of the tools, morphology analyzer, this Ansaraka and all. So I would like to present few of the recent developments, as Shivaja and Murali Madhavan sir rightly mentioned that now, see, I just want to present the recent developments and what is the future of this field. Okay, and how can the Sanskrit scholars, how can they contribute to it? This is, I thought I will focus on these areas if Murali Madhavan sir permits. Or if I have to show the tools developed by various institutions, that also I can do. But I prefer the recent development, focusing on recent developments and the recent future, what all will be expected. Sir, what do you suggest, sir?
Yes, you can do.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Shivani, you can do it.
Yes, sir. So just I'll mention the history of this field actually. See, once you all know that you are familiar with Rick Brick, because everyone quotes this sentence that from his article, that is Sanskrit is the best language for computer, that NASA, no? So actually, whether Sanskrit is the best language or that is a different story. But no, that sentence, that statement made a lot of change in the area of research. Okay, so then see, 1984 he has published, he had published this article in the magazine. So in 1985, the few scholars in India from different disciplines, they thought that we have to think something related to this, on this, and we have to explore the possibilities of the Sanskrit and AI, artificial intelligence. So they had a conference, first conference in Bengaluru, actually in Shankaramadha. So there Paramananda Bharati and others were present in 1985. Then they decided to team up and start looking into Sanskrit in a different way. See, we know that Gurukula system and all, we teach, we study and we learn Shastras, but what are the applications of these Shastras? So where do we apply? So in computer is the, we know now, part and parcel of our life. So whether do we have any opportunity in computer science for implementation? So in such way, they have thought, and they teamed up and they worked in many places actually in India. For example, IIT Kanpur, CDAC, CASS Pune, IIT Madras, ISC, Indian Institute of Science, IITB, evam sarvepi, all these institutions so started working on this. These IITs were providing technical support, and Sanskrit institutions. Actually, I have to take a name. This Professor K.V. Ramakrishna Acharyalu, he took a great step in this, because that time the Sanskrit scholars, they themselves were opposing for this modern research. Okay, so but K.V. Ramakrishna Acharyalu sir from RSVP, now it is National Sanskrit University, he led a team of scholars. There the Amba Kulkarni and Varkedi sir and all were there. Professor Srinivasa Varkedi all were present, and they so in different areas they started working. So many programs, workshops, courses, seminars, and all conducted. Then now see for Sanskrit Tirupati and Hyderabad University, they focused to develop tools for Sanskrit, as well as the concepts, implementing the concept from Sanskrit. So this is the background of Sanskrit computational linguistics. And then we have now many good research dissertations, theses, papers, and all. Then translations, and how to the graphical representation of Nyaya concepts, grammar concepts, and all. So like that, many such ideas come up in this field. I don't want to talk about the science of computation linguistics much, but see what we are doing, where do we focus is, so how can we make understand a computer, make computer understand, process, generate human language. Actually, we are linguists, we are working on language. That's why we in computer science, we focus on language part. Okay, so how do say Katham? Actually, the Chomsky is asking Katham Bala Shishuhu Katham Bhasham Avagachati. That was the first question he raises. So based on that only, he developed the entire theory of language, that is Western linguistics. But here also, okay, I'm not going into details into it. So. Idea of computation also, as Murli Madhavan sir mentioned in his speech, everyone knows Panini. Panini is the first computer scientist, actually. So when we go through the Ashtadhyayi, the structure of Ashtadhyayi, and the concepts he introduced in the Ashtadhyayi, we can say it's none other than a program. Even the latest program is Python. If we see the structure of Python and the concepts of Python and Ashtadhyayi, Ashtadhyayi is more efficient than any programming language. And we know Kanadam Paniniyam cha Sarvashastroparakam. The Kanadam means logic. So for this computer also, we need logic and language. So logic part Nyaya fulfills, and language part Vyakarana fulfills. So all these things you know. Now I just skip to recent developments. Idanim bhavanta jananti evam NEP National Education Policy अथवा New Education Policy iti NEP 2020. NEP 2020 मध्ये IQAC इति एकः विभागः. IQAC इत्युक्ते Indian Knowledge System. The Indian Knowledge System and this Indian Knowledge System multidisciplinary research. These are the two areas NEP gives importance, actually. Everywhere you can see now, everywhere in all institutions, they are shifting to multidisciplinary research. No one is entertaining normal just research. There's no Kavitwam and the style of Kalidasa. All those things, no one is entertaining. Now, whoever is working on multidisciplinary research. So tomorrow is for future is for them. So now multidisciplinary research and ICAS, Indian Knowledge System. So the government is also promoting Indian knowledge system. Indian knowledge system means the most of the part is from Sanskrit only. So that's why the world is looking at Sanskrit. Now we have a lot of responsibility to provide the Indian knowledge system in a modern way. So the recent developments means one is Indian knowledge system, another one is Shastra mapping. I'll explain this. All these will come under AI, artificial intelligence actually, and Shastra remodeling and language analysis it's already going on, and machine translation. In machine translation also, these researchers are working for last 20 years, 2 decades they are working, and we have a lot of progress also. We'll go through one by one. See, so far we know knowledge, we have to preserve our knowledge. Sarve kathayanti. Asmabhi asmakam jnanasya rakshanam karaniyam. We have to preserve manuscripts, we have to preserve our texts, we have to digitize and preserve. See, only for preservation. But now, what IQAC says, knowledge is not only for preservation. We have to preserve. That is that is the very, very important thing. But we have to preserve, and for this is knowledge is for innovation. We have to have innovative ideas. We have to see the Shastras in different angles, and we have to extract the essence from the Shastras, and we have to use it wherever possible. That is actually IKS. That's the Indian knowledge system. See, we can see that. See, now many institutions are offering MA in IKS. For example, this National Sanskrit University recently offered this course MA in IKS, and also many institutions are adding IKS in their curricula. So government is also promoting IKS, and now almost all are getting IKS interns, IKS projects and all, because now government is too much. The government is giving utmost importance to IKS for preserving and implementing or exploring the ideas from our Indian traditional system. So, and Indian thought system, the same. So see, why do they promote IKS? Because see, we want to show the Indian thought system. So now not much attention is given to the Indian traditional knowledge or the system. So that's why we have to explore the system and train the youth. This is the goal in this regard. We know IKS Nama Vidya Sthanani, Ashtadasha Vidya Sthanani, all of you know this. So we can see this is our Sambat actually. So we have to explore this, and wherever possible we can see, not only on computer. We may say this modern implementation means it's not only on computer. Many different fields we can use the Indian knowledge system. So this is a bit, this is connected to the modern Indic knowledge, connected to modern systems. See, this Ayurveda, yoga, tantra and all are connected to psychology, and Artha Shastra is connected to law, ethics, politics and all, and Dharma Shastra and Rasayana and all. And Vaisheshika, Nyaya, Vyakarana are connected to computation, artificial intelligence, automation, knowledge mining and all. And recently one research area is there, sentiment analysis. See, sentiment analysis means now reading a paragraph. For example, see, if someone is writing something on Facebook, so we can, by analyzing the paragraph, the write-up, we come to know that what is his or her mood, whether he is sad or something. So we can avoid many suicides. So that is the sentiment analysis. There also now, see, 2 days back, someone called me, some from IT. So she wants to conduct research on sentiment analysis based on Sanskrit, because people know that we have many devices to provide. That's why many scientists, I see many scientists and science students are coming to Sanskrit universities, seeking the guidance for working on these interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary areas. So this is the just I'm showing the model, and mapping. Mapping means this is Shastra mapping. This is also a new emerging area, Shastra mapping. See, atra kim kriyate ityukte, bhavantah sarve jananti, yam kamapi grantham svikruvanti. If you take any text that has a vichara dhara, you take Mahabhashyam or any Nyaya or even a Sahitya Grantha, one storyline will be there. So कोऽपि ग्रन्थः भवतु, तत्र कथं भवति इत्युक्ते एकं तु ग्रन्थस्य विचारधारा भवति, पुनः एकः विचारः तस्य समर्थनार्थम् अन्यविचारः. So that is connected, interlinked. Then what is the relation between these two? So that is another one. Then examples. See, even if we take Mahabhashyam, so we know first to know that Atha Shabdanusasanam, then like this Kesham, Shabdana. So each sentences are interconnected. So entire book has a Vakyam. So then how do we explore the knowledge? So for that, now in Shankaracharya University also they have a paper on Tantra Yukti. Tantra Yukti. You all know. Tantram nama Shastram. Yuktihi Yojanam. So Shastre Yojanam. Ekasya Shastrasyeva Parasparam Yojanam. Concept mapping and mapping with all other Shastras. Then kim prapyate? Evam ekam Shastrasya ekavakyata. Then Shastranam ekavakyata. Punaha tasya, what is the tatparya, intended meaning in the text? एतत् सर्वं ज्ञातुं शक्यते. अतः इदानीं किं क्रियते अत्र एकैकस्यापि ग्रन्थस्य मैपिंग क्रियते, टैगिंग क्रियते. तत् I will show you one example. One second, I will show you the example. See, this is the Shastra mapping of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Now we know that this yoga, everyone is interested in yoga, but only practicing. Practicing also whether this is there is a Shastric way or not, we don't know. But no, then many students, many yoga teachers want to know the real yoga actually. Then how to say, Murali Madhavan sir pointed out that, see, 10 to 12 years now devoting for learning a Shastra is impossible. So what we have to do is, one is we will map the Shastra and extract the essence of it and remodel it. So Shastra mapping and remodeling. So first we will link the content, means map the content, then we reproduce it, then remodel the Shastra. So by that, what happens, if someone wants to know just a Shastra, so what is there in the Shastra, so easily he can understand that. I'll show how do we represent the Shastra, graphical representation of Shastras also. So now you can see this. Is it, can you see this?
Yes, we can see.
So this is, see, these are the definitions. This is tagged actually. So this is 1.1. Adha yoga anushasanam arambha. Then next, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. You can see if I click on this, this is adha adha yoga anushasanam. Here, this is the yoga. Yoga means it's a tantra yukti. So this is connected, tantra connected to next. See, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. This is connected to yoga chitta vritti nirodha. The tantra yukti is yoga. Like that, all the sentences are connected. So the entire text is connected through some relation. That relation is marked. So then what is the advantage of it? So we can see the layers. See, someone wants to study this text in in-depth study. He can do that. Or someone wants to know the, see, what is the definition of few words. That is also available. So we can see many options are there. See here, if you want to see the vakyas, see, this is the vakya. See, this entire text can be connected like this, entire text. So this is the Shastra mapping. Now we are see many texts are available for yoga and Mahabhashya. Now we are working on, and Artha Shastra. Some 20 to 25 texts are tagged using Tantra Yuktis. So see, this is first we mark Tantra Yukti, then the graphical representation of this. So we can now we can classify in any way, we can model it in any way, this one, because the entire text is available in different format. Now see, if some computational scientists, computer scientists want to do something, some analysis of a text or application of something, so they can easily do that. So that's why first is Shastra mapping and representing the Shastra according to the modern ways. Then we are remodeling the text. That also I'll show you. So this is the Shastra mapping tool for Yoga Sutra. Like that, we have many texts are available. So if you want to see, I can share all these links and all. If you have any queries regarding this, you can ask me. If you want to see the exact, how do we tag this, that also I'll show you. How do we tag the text? I'll show you the tagging scheme for Mahabhashya. See, this is now any student can take it up. Each see, many texts are there. We can take one or two texts and work on this. See, just this is very simple. See, very simple means we should have Shastra knowledge. See, this is Mahabhashya text. Can you see it?
Yes, very well.
See, Adha Shabdanu Shastram. These are the, so we have a book ID and Vishayas and Vakyam. See, Adha Shabdanu Shasanam. So this is the Tantra Yukti. See, all Tantra Yuktis are listed here. So we can select accordingly each one. See, Adhetem, Shabdo, Adhikarartha, Prayujyate. So here the Padartha is the Tantra Yukti. Like that manually. So these are the supporting system. Like this, just by clicking that we can mark the this one. So see, once we mark the entire text, see, this is the Paspachanika and second Anika is almost over. So this one, Patanjali Mahabhashyasya, evam Yoga Sutrasya api asmabhi kriyate. Etat kim bhavati ekavaram etadrisha mark kriyate ched. Not only this, concept details, concept map bhavati, kadham purvapakshaha, uttarapakshaha, eta sangatihi. Etadrisham sarvam tatra mark kriyate. Ekavaram etat mark kriyate ched. We have developed a system. We have a tool. Automatically, this will translate. This will convert this into the representation. That is called mind mapping. what I shown to you is called mind mapping. That tool I showed, no, that is called mind mapping. What is in there inside the mind, that will be mapped actually. That is mind mapping. This is very, very recent research. And many of them are not aware about this. Now, students from Shankaracharya University and even Kandalur Shala also can take up some 2 or 3 texts, and some researchers can work on this tagging and all. If anyone wants any training and all, definitely we are ready to support.
Good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Even students can come here to our university. We have a very good team with the scientists and scholars are there. So they can come over here for a few days or few months. They can work together and get trained and go back and spread the knowledge, because that is the need of our actually. Yeah.
Very good suggestion.
Yeah, we definitely we will support you if anyone is really interested. Yeah. So this is the mind mapping. Now we will see remodeling. I won't take much time. Some 2-3 points I'll mention and I'll leave. Now remodeling. I mentioned that remodeling. See, even we take Mahabhashyam. See, for completing Mahabhashyam, we need many years. Now, even Sanskrit students are not focusing on that, not concentrating. Only Navanika is read actually. So then, what is the solution for that? If we won't focus on, if we won't learn Shastra, Sanskrit Shastras, then we lose our tradition and Shastra and Sanskrit itself. Sanskritam means it's not only a language, it's a science, it's a wisdom, it's a treasure of knowledge. So then what we have to do? So we can see many are interested in learning Sanskrit. Sanskrit means it's not just for speaking. They want to know what is there in Sanskrit. People are saying everything is there. Whatever the people invent, scientists invent, everything is available in Sanskrit. So people really want to know what is there. So what do we do for that? So we cannot teach everyone. We can, definitely we can offer some courses, but we have limitations. That's why now remodeling of Shastra texts, Shastric texts. It means, re-representing or graphical representation of Shastra texts, Nyaya, Vyakarana and all. So by that, what happens? So if someone is interested, he will see that graphics and he'll get the concept and he can implement, he can think over it logically and computationally and all. So that is a remodeling. So I will give you a small example. This is not exactly remodeling, but this is a small effort. This is from one of my book, Key to Karakam. See here, I have represented a sutra actually. This is not exactly computational representation, but it's a medium one. See, this is Dhruvam Apaya Apadanam. This is the input actually. So input in our mind, when we speak, when we utter a sentence, this much concepts will be there. One is Dhruvam Vrikshaha. So that much we have to know. And Karta is the doer of the action. Karta is a Parna. And Apayaha Patanam. This much knowledge we should have for using Apadana, Panchami in a sentence. And this Karake is, this is a rule. Karake is coming from previous sutra. It's a Anuvrittihi. So Karake Dhruvam Apaya Apadanamiti. So Dhruvam Apaya Apadanam, this is 1.4.24. When we add the Anuvritti, the entire, the body of the sutra is Dhruvam Apaye Karakam Apadanam. This is the one. So the input is Vrikshaha, Parnam, Patanam. So now what Karaka does, it adds actually, it connects. And it processes the sutra, Dhruvam Apaya Apadanam. It knows what is Dhruvam. Dhruvam is a firm point of reference. And when it happens, when the separation takes place, the Apadana, we can use Apadana. then what the dhruvam, the point of reference gets apadana sapnya. So the output is vrikshat parnam padati. Like that, each and every sutra in my key to Karaka text, we have done this one. This is some 5-6 years back. We tried for this remodeling. And also this, you can see this is done by actually Varkedi sir. Vaktru srotroho abhimatam ananya sadhyam bhalamuddishya tat sadhana bhutam pramanantara apraptam artham pratipadeyatam vakyana samoha shastram. Kim nama shastram idi. Etat iyam panktihi yadi vayam enam panktin pathamaha. When we read this sentence, we don't get, normally people won't get the meaning. But when we represent this and explain, this will be very clear for modern students. This is one. And also I will show you the representation of Tarka Sangraha. Just. So this is done by our team. Actually, Shivaja was also part of this. We have a web page called Sambhasha. Sambhasha means we can say Sambhasha, the literal meaning is Samvadaha, and Sambhasha, Sanganaka Bhasha means language of computer, Sanskrita Bhasha, anything. So this is, we try to represent the entire Tarka Sangraha in this model. So see, anyone, we need this need not have any explanation. See, Padartha means it's a Padarthas are classified into this many, Dravyam, Gunaha, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha. If you click on this Dravya, again it is classified into 9. And what is Dravyam? Dravyam is this. See, again, if you click on anything, Teja 2, Nityam, Anityam cha. What is Teja? That is Ushnasparshava Teja. So like this, so we can do more on this. But this is just, we are trying this in initial stages, we tried with such texts. See, now you people can, students can take other texts, Vedanta Sara is not done, Artha Shastra, many such texts, any such text you can take and remodel it. So then you are contributing to the public. So anyone wants to know what is there in Tarka Shastra, just they can go through this. And with very, very minimum explanation, they will get the concept. So this is the idea behind this. And also finally, I'll conclude with the machine translation. So machine translation, the Sanskrit computational linguistics started long back, and many types of machine translation systems were developed. Machine translation means translating text from one language to another language using machine or technology. That is machine translation. So many means rule-based, analytical based, many machine translation systems were emerged, but we cannot say that it's 100% accurate. But now, see, for Sanskrit, English to Sanskrit also tried, Hindi to Sanskrit by Hyderabad, IIIT Hyderabad. So many institutions have made tried machine translation. Sir suggested, sir mentioned Anusaraka. Anusaraka means word to word translation, machine translation from Hyderabad Central University. So many have tried. And recently when we see, now they modern computer scientists, they are denying the rule-based system, and they tried deep learning methods. Deep learning methods means they collect huge data, then the combinations, sentences, they translate the sentences. For example, now Sanskrit text, some Kalidasa's text is that they translate into Hindi, they translate into Kannada and all. Then they train the machine. That is a deep learning. So while trying this, they came to know that see, some errors are coming, but they cannot debug it. They cannot debug. They cannot find out where is the problem. How can we solve it? Now, slowly they are moving to Sanskrit. Sanskrit can be the interlingua. Interlingua means mediator. So what we do know, Sanskrit, we have concrete rules, Karaka rules and Upapada rules and all. So we fix the complete tagging system, tagging process and rules. Then we can from any language to any language. Sanskrit will be the interlingua, means mediator, from one language to Sanskrit, and Sanskrit from Sanskrit to other languages. So like that, now recently Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology has approved a project where these many members are there in a consortium. IIT Kharagpur, IIT Bombay, IIT Kanpur, IISc, Indian Institute of Science, CDAC, and only Sanskrit University is part of it, that is Karnataka Sanskrit University. Our team is a part of it. And it's a huge amount. They have sanctioned 3.5 crores for this. And we are working on machine translation through deep learning. And the interlingua is Sanskrit. So even without a second thought, Ministry also approved that because this is based on Sanskrit. So this is machine translation also going on. But recently Google Translator, Google also developed translators from Hindi to Sanskrit, for all other languages to Sanskrit and vice versa. But there also the problem is the same problem we see. So now the scholars or experts concluded that Sanskrit is the best interlingua for translating one language to another. So, for disambiguation, I don't explain these things. It is there in Bhartrhari's book. Samyogo viprayogascha sahacharya virodhita artha prakaranam lingam shabdasyanyasya sannidhi samarthyam auchiti deshaha kalo vyakti swaradayaha shabdarthasya anavachchede vishesha smrthetava. So exactly we are using these techniques for disambiguating the words when we translate from one language to another. So many things are there to share with you. But I think when I get more time next time, I'll come with many more such tools. But for the time being, I stop myself here and thank you one and all. And if you have any queries, you please ask me. And if you need any support, because I know from many years I am, sir, and as sir said, sir was there in my both the interviews for there, Chinmaya and here. So if sir asked me to come and present the tools and all, without a second thought, I will definitely come. And any support from our end, we extend our support. Anyway, Shivaja is there in Kerala. That is also an advantage. You can approach her, and we are also very much approachable. So and we need people. We need people, many students to come up in this area, and we have to show ourselves. We have to contribute our traditional knowledge to the public. So we need people. So we are there to support you. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Shivaja and others.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Shivaja. Shivani, it is a very thought-provoking presentation, so to say, because there's something very ultra-modern, that is computer translation, computer studies. The other side, the ancient one, the old one, Sanskrit. So how the old and new can be combined and can be done and make fruitful to the society for the world at large. That is a very interesting area of study. And I'm very happy that you have done it. And more lectures on various what we call emerging areas in this field can be arranged in future, where other experts also become better. Shivani herself can come and give more lectures. And we are sure that when we invite, you will come and you will present the paper, yeah, lectures. I know that. See, I have two or three some doubts, rather some clarifications. As far as an expert in the field, how you feel? The last point your lecture has been concluded with disambiguation. This ambiguity, how you can avoid ambiguity, that is the very important thing, whether it is Shastra or Sahitya, whatever it may be. So as a man from Sahitya, I have a doubt. Ambiguity is, as Sahityakaras, they take that ambiguity is the main source of aesthetic experience in this literature. So how we will solve this problem in in your area? So this is a very particular question which I want to, and what will be your answer? And I am very eager to hear that.
So,
and yes.
Okay, sir. Please continue.
Yes, and some more, three things I want to ask regarding Krodapatra text in the Vyakarana, Nyaya, and even in Mimamsa. When you go deeper on a minute topic, subject, and dwell deep in that subject, how you can do this mapping? That is, in general, in Shastras, generally what you told is a wonderful experience. It is a nice, very nicely you can do, and especially a big text like Mahabhashya, a great work like what we call Shankara Bhashya. Such things we can in general. But when you speak about, for example, in Nyaya Shastra, there is a text called Najaratna Maliga. It is the Pragalbha Mishra's Purvapaksha Vyapti. There are 14 Chaturdasha Lakshani. 14 Purvapakshas are there. In that, the only second Purvapaksha has been taken by the author, and is a Kerala author, Mandita Kunji Nambudiri, a great Nayayiga of that time, and 1 century back. And he has written 99 Purvapakshas for that. So that is called Naja is Purvapaksha and Najaratna Malika. So this is a mala made out of Najas, that Purvapakshas. So he has done a wonderful work, but how you will do mapping in that text, that is very, I think this will be a complicated thing. It may not be in a within suddenly you cannot answer, and we can also think about it and in the process. But I think methodology may be same, but in using methodology, perhaps you have to have some more devices. Perhaps, as we say in literature, we use the methodology what we have in Sanskrit. But when you come to comparative literature, then the things are changed. The methodology becomes interdisciplinary methodology or interlingua methodology, something like that. So this is another point. I think some such questions are there. You cannot solve, or we cannot solve all the problems at once. And we are working hard, and this is emerging area. It is coming up, and we will face several challenges, and we will one after another we will solve the problems. That is what I feel. But these are my some doubts. I think others also will be having some need some clarification. They may also ask, and finally you can answer after hearing all. Yes. That is our nature. Our lecture nature is like that. I think people like our chairman, Sri Narayan Putti, and such scholars are so very curious even at this age in studying and attending the programs and like that. So I invite Narayan Putti to have some observations on this.
Thank you, sir. I am very much thrilled. I hearing this lecture quite different, because here the technology and computational science, our Shastras and our Sanskrit wisdom is being linked, and much research is going on. It is very astonishing and interesting, and I am thrilled by hearing this lecture of Dr. Shivani. It is a wonderful subject. I congratulate sir and picking up this most competent, efficient scholar to present in the banner of Kandalu Sala. Okay, my first question is regarding this computational analysis. You are using in the Shastra as example, okay. But these the Veda corpus also can be analyzed in this way, I think. Because nowadays, ordinary layman like me who is interested in this meaning of the Veda, without much knowledge in Sanskrit. In 30 years back, I may refer to some Nirukta text or Padakrama Koshas developed, and especially of Vishabindu, and later the old text like Kalpadruma and many Vadaspati. It is very tedious effort. I used nights and nights to search a word and to find out the satisfying meaning which is appropriate to the context. So it is laborious effort is needed for scholars or a curious person or their persons. But I am, even though these hundreds of Nigandus may be available nowadays, we are not opening that text from the shelves. Instead, we are typing it in Google, and it is very wonderful experience, because if dhatu, a word is typed, then I'm not saying about Shastra, I am interested in Vedas. So this word, wherever it comes in Shaga, that is in Brahmana, Aranyaka, in different Vedas, and inside Nabhashyas, in Niruktas, and it is the dhatu meaning, roots, and also the grammatical rules, all will be at the fingertips. So it is not possible for scholars in the yester years, because they are unfortunate, I think, because they have to conduct a laborious life work to decipher the meaning. Now it is very easy for an ordinary man. So in 2 years before, in our faculty meeting, Dr. Srinivasa Prakadi, he was worrying, because the world is asking how this Sanskrit Shastra Vedic knowledge can be utilized for helping the other fields of epistemology. Everyone knows that it is possible, because the fundamental methodology is more rich in our Vedic and Shastras. But to derive the methodology that will be useful for those conducting research in other fields, how we could help them? This is a question. He is very, with humility, he said that at present, we cannot answer or give a product, like the result. We are with worry and with some eagerness and curiosity, we are studying, conducting. But now I am convinced that this ray is seen in the end of the tunnel, because using this much of technology, the importance of applying the technology to analyze these thoughts, Vedic thoughts, that every government and every scholars, their attention attention has got, and they are conducting in proper way. So it is very interesting, and importance of Sanskrit is developing. Why? That is, I am thinking, by hearing this lecture, the importance of Sanskrit nowadays is developing. Is it a blind national pride or patriotism? No, because every scholars then they are knowing gradually that the rich methodology, the original methodology is there in our Veda and Sanskrit. Our thoughts were the first methodology or the first thinking of human being, especially in language, in Hebrew or in English or Latin. All are indebted to Panini in Indian grammar linguistics. Everyone accepts, especially for the epistemology of Nirukta. These are they are the Western scholars were wondering for centuries by seeing. But nowadays, these shastras can be analyzed by using computer. The IIT peoples and computer specialists found that it can be a lingo, middle lingo, franco. It is Sanskrit is more effective. Why? I am thinking why Sanskrit's importance. I am thinking that because as I said earlier, the fundamental laws of linguistic, fundamental laws of thoughts, fundamental laws of language, that were the subject of research for our ancestors and rishis and shastrakaras. Such an effort never happened in any continent, in any culture. So now they are coming to that rich contribution of our culture, and I am expecting that in short future, you people like Dr. Shivani, they will make some wonders, and they will guide the researchers of all other epistemologies and knowledge systems by imparting these wonderful and rich methodologies of our Vedas and Sanskrit Shastras. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
With the
Thank you.
blessing
Thank you.
and you all.
Anybody? Any other person? Any other person want to ask any questions? Otherwise, Dr. Shivani can give some observations over it.
Sir, can I ask one question?
Any researcher or any teacher?
Yeah, can I ask one question?
Yeah, why not? You can ask very well.
Since I am interested in the technological advancement of today's era, is there any study conducted for the sound and vibration and energy of various Sanskrit mantras? Is there any device developed? That was my question.
Okay. Okay, I think then we can move to Dr. Shivani to hear her. Yeah, Dr. Shivani, you can speak.
These are the challenging questions actually, Sir who and just asked, but I'll try to answer it. So, sir, your first question is disambiguation of words. So, two ways are there. One is nowadays, this modern scientists, what they do the deep learning means they will give the maximum instances. Means the translation, for example, some Saindhavam, or Hari with the one, Hari with Harihi Vane Asti. Harihi Vrikshe Asti. So they connect this Hari and Vriksha. Then the machine learns from this many instances. If Vriksha and Hari are there in a sentence, then that is that Hari means Vanara. Okay, that is the one way.
Vanara.
Because that is because of the this one that is a possibility. Okay, and another method. Yeah, this is the one method, and one more method is we call chunking. Okay, the technical terminology is chunking. What we do we group these words together, the nearby words together, then we will see. That also many instances we will see and come to a conclusion. So, for example, when this is not very much disambiguate, sandikta, but for example, saha, Ramayana saha Sita gachati. So, Ramayana can be this Karana, but here it's not Karana. So, how do we define that? How do you fix it? How do, see, we can fix it, but how does a machine fix it? So, we group this next word together, then we fix the meaning. Like that, many methods are there to fix disambiguate, but even then it's not 100% possible, because many things are involved in the
Error free.
but maximum some 80 to 85% we can solve it, disambiguation. That is one.
This is more possible. This is more possible in Shastra text,
Shastra
because
text,
in Shastra text, primary meaning is mainly concerned.
because Shastra text meaning is
But the ambiguity comes in Sahitya. That is the thing. Yes.
there is Shastra, the meaning is domain specific. For example, in
Yeah.
Vyakarana, guna is only 3 letters, that is fixed. In Nyaya, guna is 24 gunas. That is also
Yeah,
fixed.
yeah.
Shastra
That is
text
a problem.
is not a big problem. But in
Gradually, we may find some solution for that also.
we have some solutions, but
Yeah.
100% disambiguation is not possible
No.
right now.
Not
That is-
possible. That is, yeah.
So that
And
is one.
especially in Sahitya, there is another problem, Dr. Shivani, that Sanskrit, as far as Sanskrit is concerned, when you compare with other Indian languages, even European languages and foreign languages, the Sanskrit words, have empty number of synonyms. So, when you for example, the shloka from Kumara Sambhava, Dvayam gatam samprati shojaniyatam samagama prarthanaya kapalinaha. The word kapali with the correct notation that it has used there with a specific purpose to make Shiva as a kapali, as a bhikshadaga. He is a bhikshaga. So, how you will bring that meaning if you simply say Shiva for a mission translation? If you simply translate Shiva, then it will be something what we call fitting to, will not be fitting to the context. So, how you will bring such things? So, synonym is a big thing for Sanskrit, in a stumbling block when in mission translation. So, such things are there. But anyway, gradually, I think most of the inventions, in the primary stage, in the prima phase, it will be only 50% or 30% like that. Even in, what about our vaccination? Its result was only, even after this much scientific, what we head-breaking, thought-provoking experiments and like that, they could achieve only 60%, not more than that. So things are like that, but there is chance, but at least 60% or 70% we are achieved. So the other things remaining, we can fill up in due course. That's all. Some new devices can be framed for that in future. That may be.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
So, second question, Acharatnamala kind of question.
Yeah.
Sir, though that one, actually, if we can do mapping in Mahabhashya, we can do in any text, because that much difficult, because now we are facing that Mahabhashya is not this just flow like that. Sometimes
now, how many Anigas are over now?
3 Anigas.
3 Anigas.
So it's not easy.
No.
It's easy. So if we can do Mahabhashya, we can do any text, not only in Acharatnamala, because that flow, we are marking the flow relations. So, but we are also struggling actually, because which Tantra Yukti will be there, what to add and all, we have to think a lot, and we should have a very, very good Shastra Drishti. Otherwise, we cannot do that.
That is very important.
Very, very challenging job. And to some 60% by training students can do. The 40% left scholars only, high level scholars only can do.
As scholars can do.
Yeah. But any text can through this methodology, sir. That is. And thank you very much, sir, for your very valid questions. Actually, it's a high intellectual question.
Thank you.
And you have thought a lot. Otherwise, you cannot ask such questions. Actually, this is very much technical.
This
And
is a
coming to Poti sir's question, thank you for the appreciation, sir. Actually, really, we need your blessings. So, blessings of our gurus and people like you only our strength actually. So we can move.
Madam, I am again thrilled by your one sentence you just said, because the nearby words you are using for translation purpose. That is main thing. You might be remembering that Yaska said, because the meaning cannot be determined by Mahabhashyam or Paniyam, because it is analyzing the original Shabda, the
Yes.
formation from the root. Only the Prasadhari Sutram, in only one Sutram for that too is inefficient, because by the help of the Unadi Urti only this Dudha meaning will be. So it is useless. But according to
that is why she has mentioned about Bhartrihari
yes,
and
yes,
Samyoga Viprayogashta.
important-
And
one
this
important-
is the context of Samyoga, that Hari
Yes,
and that Vricha.
Yes.
It is a kind of Samyoga. So
yes, important point. And again, because Yaga, Yaska said the Yuda Yaugiga method is combination. Like
Yeah.
in Veda, different words are coming with along with succeeding and preceding words. From there, without Shastra knowledge, Veda itself teaching you the meaning. In our earlier meeting with the Cardavo's lecture, I asked to Dr. Cardavo that
Cardona.
you are
Cardona.
I asked, yes, 1 year before, I asked him, sir, could you explain the Yaugiga meaning? But he wrongly interpreted that in Pankaja, Pangam, and it is generated by the Pangam. So there may not be any relation, but meaning. So he ridiculed me actually. But Yaska, but he is wrong. But Kardava, a great man, but he is very wrong. Because Yaska says, by the near occurrence of words, the preceding and succeeding words, that is there. Actually, I intended that, but I cannot quarrel with such a luminary. So I kept mum. But now I am very much happy that madam pointed out that
I think, now you can have some observation if you have.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So this
yes.
for Veda also, I know few scholars are working on Veda, and these two questions I addressed together. Someone asked that device for mantra sound and all.
Yeah.
Actually, we applied for this voice to voice translation. Actually, now speech to speech.
Yeah.
So we thought to analyze these mantras and all, but we are asked to first focus on the machine translation of sentences. So next level we will go to these Vedic mantras and all. But no, I know few people are working on this one from US. He is working on Veda mantras and all. But how much that is not published actually. But people are working on it. This mantras and all. And the epistemology and ontologies are actually and about the koshas, as you said, rightly said, many koshas are available now. Any word, if you want to know the meaning or synonyms or antonyms and all, you can search and get it. It's on fingertips. And also we are also working on, sir, Bhavanta Janand, you only approved our project Mahakosha.
Yeah. I have recently I have sanctioned a project for them.
Yeah. So it's a very, very great project that we are anticipating actually the output. We are collecting all the koshas, available kosha. That is not just for preserving, and we are interlinking and marking the relations within the words and ontology also. See, the Shivacha, Dr. Shivacha's thesis was on Amarakosha. She worked on such ideas, but we are extending to all koshas. That is, Amarakosha was interlinked. Now all koshas will be interlinked. By that, the one advantage is word sense disambiguation. So we will
Yeah.
for the machine translation. So the synonyms, how do you analyze the synonymous words you asked now? So this is one of the way. So we are working on that direction. I think I have answered all the questions as much as I know.
Okay, okay. Yeah.
So if anyone
Now,
has
Dr. Shivaja, you can proceed.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, Professor Shivani, for such a wonderful lecture and question answering session. Okay. Question answering session also. Thank you, Murali Madhavan sir, for such a wonderful interaction, and through your interaction we got more ideas. You opened the way to interact more, and what to say, more idea, to go to more ideas. And Narayan Poti sir, he was also actively participated on the discussion session. And now I am inviting Dr. Vanaja for the presentation of citation. Dr. Vanaja, please.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Madam?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Okay, a warm good evening to one and all. It's my great pleasure to present the citation to Dr. Shivani. As I have a poor network connection, I'm outside the house. Some disturbances may occur. Please pardon me in advance. With great honor and respect, Kantalur Shala highly commends Dr. Shivani.V for her outstanding contributions and exemplary work in Sanskrit literature as a scholar, writer, teacher, guide, and philosopher. Dr. Shivani completed her doctorate on a computational model for the linguistic study of Sanskrit, Balakanda of Ramayana as a case study, and did her post-graduation in natural language processing, NLP, and Sanskrit Vyakarana, as while Deputy Director at Chinmaya International Foundation, Shodh Sansthan, Viliyanad, Ernakulam, Kerala, and guest faculty at Department of Sanskrit Studies, University of Hyderabad, as well as at Shabdabodha and Language Technology, Rashtriya Sanskrit Vidyapitha, Tirupati. Shivani also held the position of Senior Linguist, Department of Sanskrit Studies at University of Hyderabad. She has many publications and research papers under her credit. She has also participated and presented papers at many international and national seminars on NLP, machine language, and topics pertaining to computational linguistics and Sanskrit grammar. Her major projects include Pali Morphological Generator and Analyzer. This project is funded by Pali Institute, Kalaburgi, to develop computer tool for generating and analyzing Pali words. The tool is being developed based on the Paninian rules. This module will help the reader to understand the Pali text. It will be a helping hand for the beginners of Pali language. Another project is Balashtadashi. This project is funded by Ministry of Human Resource Department under Ashtadashi scheme. The aim of the project is to create interest in the mind of children regarding Sanskrit, to develop memory, focus, and concentration skills in children through learning Sanskrit. Series of 18 products in different areas for children's web-based, 10 CD-based, Android apps, iOS apps, etc. Products contain more of interactive games, activities which enhance the memory, focus, concentration of the children. And another project is Sarva Pratyaya Mala. This is a grammatical treatise written by a Keralite Shankaracharya in verse form. All pratyayas of Paninian grammar with suitable illustrations are narrated beautifully in this treatise. 6 manuscripts are available at various institutions. The object of the project is to edit the manuscripts critically and publish with the Pratyaya index. This citation is presented to Dr. Shivani.V on Saturday, 30th July 2022 at Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala, signed by Professor P.C. Murali Madhavan, Director-in-Chief. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, Vanaja, for the citation. Now I invite Dr. Annapurna for vote of thanks.
Respected Dr. Murali Madhavan sir, Dr. Shivani ma'am, and all the participants of this wonderful session. Today, I'm interested with the duty of saying concluding remarks about the session as a whole and about the topic in particular. The session was really interesting, and the paper, Digital Devices in Sanskrit Studies, was an eye-opening and a very thought-provoking and enlightening one. At this scenario, learning Sanskrit with new methods of digitalization helps to attract new generation kids. She explained how map the content and remodeled it. So it is actually a boon or blessing to us and get updated. This paper promises a lot for promoting Sanskrit and popularizing Sanskrit. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Shivani for her wonderful paper, Digital Devices in Sanskrit Studies. We expect more contribution like this from Dr. Shivani, as the paper was instructive and illustrative and explanatory. Thank you, ma'am, very much. The presidential address of Dr. P.C. Murali Madhavan sir was exemplary, and he led the session very enthusiastically. As the director of Kantalur Shala, he is doing a wonderful job by bringing like-minded scholars to this platform. I would like to thank Dr. Murali Madhavan sir for all the efforts he puts in for the enhancement of Sanskrit language. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Murali Madhavan sir.
Thank you.
I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Vanaja, Assistant Professor, Bimala College, Thrissur, for the presentation of citation to Professor Shivani. I would like to thank Dr. Shivaja, Assistant Professor, Sri Shankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Taladi, for the welcome address and Master of Ceremony. On behalf of Kantalur Shala and myself, express my sincere gratitude to Sri Narayanan Poti sir for the discussion, and he enriched the session. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Sarita Maheshwaran for her beautiful invocation. And thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Annapurna. Now it is the time for Shanti Patha.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidyushavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay, Dr. Shivani, Dr. Shivaja, Dr. Vanaja, Dr. Annapurna, and our Ken Putti sir, and Dr. Pradeep Jyoti behind all these things. I congratulate one and all for the success of the program. It is a very, very impressive program. Such programs you have to regularly, without any fail, we have to conduct. This will promote our Sanskrit people, and it will bring very good relations. As Dr. Shivani has told, she has promised without any compulsion, that without any request even, that she extended all types of helps for promoting such things through their faculty members and through their colleagues from Karnataka Sanskrit University. So it is a big thing. I am a close friend of Karnataka Sanskrit University, and most of the teachers are selected by me there working now, and very good friends I am having. And Dr. Shivani is one of the senior most friends I am having in Karnataka Sanskrit University. See, we are very happy, Dr. Shivani, that you have done a wonderful job. It will continue, and we hope that our relations are, and we should keep in touch in future for our betterment, because in Kandalu Shala is in infancy, and we have to do so many things to make it as a ancient university like Nalanda. This was one of the oldest university in the country, even before Christ. When Nalanda was having only 18 departments of study, here we had 32 departments in Kandalu Shala, including military training, ship making, and such things were there, along with Sanskrit, Veda, and other Vedangas. So that was a wonderful thing. So we want to revive that. So we are doing a lot. We are working at it, and we hope this is the first phase of that university. Second phase, from next year onwards, we will start courses, and it will be a deemed university. Now it is only a research institute. We have started in that way. There are 3 phases of this revival. The first one is institute, and second one to create the environment in the higher studies and research. That is the main function of a university. So function Sanskrit, normally universities are having 3-tier system. One is teaching, and other one research, and then expansion. So these 3 fields we are very particular, and we are bringing the environment now. But the necessity of reviving such an erstwhile university. So that scholars like Professor George Cardona, Professor Arindam Chakravarti, Professor Witzel, Mikhail Witzel from Harvard, such great scholars are regular visitors of Kandalu Shala online. They give regular lectures in the program. So you are one among their luminaries. So we are very happy. So with these words, we extend our best wishes to all those who participate today, the lecture, those who witness this, the lecture, listen to the lecture, and conduct a discussion with these views. I thank one and all once more, and we conclude the session now here. Dr. Shivaja, thank you for your beautiful work of the Master of Ceremony. Thank you.
Yeah, I personally thanking you, sir, for selecting me as Master of Ceremony, and I thank.
No, I know, especially know that you are the teacher in the young generation who is working in this field, especially related to today's topic, and associated with that. So I am waiting for an opportunity to take you into our group. So we could do it, and in future also we should have most of your teachers are participating in our program. Lisha, you from your department, that Srividya from your department. So many good teachers are there. So they are associating, and we are very happy that the young teachers are very interested in such serious studies and research. Not simply doing the job for salary, have some commitments with our subject and do something solid contribution in the field. That's a big thing. So we appreciate all these things, and in future we will be having regular programs like this, and we will be keep in touch. Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr.
Thanks to all
Pradeep
scholars.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Narayana Bhatti sir, Pradeep Jyoti sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.